Djibouti is aligning with Eritrea against its longtime friend, Ethiopia. Ethiopia has been a close ally of Djibouti, so why is Djibouti suddenly shifting toward Eritrea instead? The Red Sea is becoming one of the most contested regions on Earth. Once seen as just a trade route, it's now a chessboard for global powers, regional alliances, and economic survival. In the middle of this complex game, two unlikely neighbors are quietly reshaping the balance, Djibouti and Eritrea. Once bitter enemies, they're now drawing closer, and the reasons go far beyond diplomacy. To understand why Djibouti is aligning with Eritrea against Ethiopia, we have to go back to a key turning point, when Abiy Ahmed came to power in Ethiopia. When Abiy became prime minister in 2018, he moved fast. In just a few months, he ended a 20-year conflict with Eritrea by signing a historic peace deal with President Isaias Afwerki. That moment didn't just change Ethiopian-Eritrean relations. It shook the entire Horn of Africa. One country that immediately felt the tremor was Djibouti. In 2008, Djibouti and Eritrea fought over a border dispute at Ras Tamara. The clash led to dozens of deaths and years of diplomatic freeze. Eritrea was hit with UN sanctions in 2009, and Djibouti supported them. There was no trust, no dialogue, and no hope of reconciliation, until 2018. Just 2 months after Abiy's peace deal, Eritrea and Djibouti met for the first time in a decade. The meeting, brokered by Saudi Arabia and backed by the UAE, wasn't just symbolic, it marked the beginning of a quiet realignment. So why is Djibouti warming up to Eritrea now? The answer lies in economics and survival. Djibouti's economy is heavily dependent on Ethiopia. Around 90 to 95% of Ethiopia's imports and exports pass through the port of Djibouti. That trade is worth billions. Ethiopia reportedly pays over $1.5 billion annually in port fees and services. That money fuels Djibouti's economy, funds its infrastructure, and sustains thousands of jobs. Remove Ethiopia from the equation, and Djibouti's economic engine could collapse. But Ethiopia is looking for options. As a landlocked country, it's been trapped since losing its coastline in 1993 when Eritrea gained independence. Now, with its growing economy and rising population, Ethiopia wants out of that trap. It's negotiating with Eritrea for port access, and even with Somaliland, to build direct sea routes. If that happens, Ethiopia could bypass Djibouti entirely. For Djibouti, that's an existential threat. This is why Djibouti is now trying to secure its place in the new Red Sea order. By improving relations with Eritrea, it hopes to stay relevant, maybe even partner in future port developments or at least remain part of the regional conversation. It's a smart gamble, better to work with Eritrea than be cut out. But that's not the only angle. Egypt is quietly involved too. Cairo has opposed Ethiopia's construction of the Grand Renaissance Dam, fearing it will reduce Nile water flows. As tensions with Ethiopia rise, Egypt has expanded ties with countries surrounding it, including Eritrea and now Djibouti. For Egypt, isolating Ethiopia is a strategic move. For Djibouti, it's a useful counterbalance if ties with Ethiopia weaken. Meanwhile, the Red Sea is drawing global interest. Djibouti already hosts military bases from the United States, China, France, Japan, and Italy, earning hundreds of millions in annual rent. China alone reportedly pays $100 million per year for its naval base. But the competition is heating up. Countries like Russia, the UAE, and Turkey are eyeing Eritrea's long, undeveloped coastline for new military or commercial ports. If Djibouti loses its monopoly, it loses its leverage. Once again, it must adapt or be sidelined. And here's the twist. Some of these factions may prefer working with Eritrea over Abiy's government. Eritrea, with its history of political maneuvering, could become a quiet backchannel for Ethiopia's rivals. This is the reality Djibouti understands well. It knows that power in the Horn of Africa doesn't stay fixed. Allies become enemies. Enemies become partners. And survival depends on staying one step ahead of the storm. So what does this all mean for the future? Djibouti is playing a high-stakes game, aligning with Eritrea not out of friendship, but out of necessity. It's hedging its bets in a volatile region where trade routes, foreign interests, and rebel movements are all shifting at once. It's trying to remain the beating heart of the Red Sea, even as new arteries begin to form elsewhere. And here's where it gets even more interesting: the next chapter in this story could reshape East Africa entirely. Will Ethiopia successfully secure a new port and break free from Djibouti? Will rebel alliances inside Ethiopia destabilize the region further? Or will a new power bloc emerge between Eritrea, Djibouti, and Egypt? Stay tuned, because the Horn of Africa is not just changing, it's transforming. And the moves being made today may decide the balance of power for decades to come. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more insights.